I think it's not just about messages, but also more importantly how women are portrayed and the roles that they take in the media. I think a huge thing to really think about, it shouldn't just be about women in business or women in science. Why isn't it just executives in science or executives in business? We still think about men versus women, and I think women need to think of themselves as just being really great at what they do and try to make it less a focus about gender parity, but just being excellent practitioners. Digital technology today makes all of us makers. Podcasts are free. People can create content on their websites all the time. People can become publishers. So more ideas mean more solutions. And what social media and technology really means is that we all have the power to take more control over what's happening in the world because our ideas can actually become practical solutions. Millennials are the most socially conscious generation ever. They want to take part, they want to make a difference, they want to do stuff that's actually going to make the world better. Just look at what happened when the Paris attacks happened at the end of last year. Hashtag Pray for Paris became a movement that everyone wanted to participate in, especially millennials. What we can do today is really work with millennials to take all that passion and all that drive to do something better and turn it into tangible action. Social media provides an opportunity for all of us to be curators of content, makers, publishers. In social media, you need to be authentic. You need to have a point of view. You need to actually realize that everything you say in social media, whether it's Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, it's there forever. And you have to make sure that whatever you're doing in social media really is authentic and represents who you are as a person and also as a person in the professional world. And I think it's very important that millennials and folks today really think about what they're putting out into the media, what they're putting out into social media, because that's what I look to when I'm looking to hire folks at Ogilvy. Media influencers today, especially women media influencers, have an opportunity to use their platform, whether it's on television or in a newspaper, in a magazine, or in publishing, to really empower other women, to talk about issues that women need to be really considering, and make it less about gender, but more about just doing great work. And I think that that's really, really important. And I see folks like Mika Brzezinski from MSNBC, or Maria Bartiromo from Fox, or even what Moira Forbes is doing at Forbes Women. They're talking about issues and making them more important that women need to be aware of. Less about gender, but more about just doing great work that people should be really proud of. Right now, there's probably two things I'm most proud of. One, I've been at the agency for almost 5 years, and I lead a lot of our work for nation branding. And what does that mean? We work with countries all over the world to promote them as tourist destinations or economic hubs. I ran our work with the government of Mexico under President Calderon for many years when I first got here, probably 2 years when I first got here. And the job was to get people to go back to Mexico. When you turned on the news every day back in 2011, and they said, don't go to Mexico, you're going to die on the beach from gunshot violence. My job was to fix that. And I worked with the Secretary of Tourism, Gloria Guevara, to fix that, and it was exciting. And from there, we were hired by the country of Colombia, and now we're doing work for the tourism arm of the United States under Obama. And most recently, we're doing work with Indonesia. It's very cool stuff, working with heads of state like you would with the CEO. The other part of the work that I'm most proud of is my work I'm doing to empower women and gender equality. About several years ago, probably 2 years ago at this point, I helped create He for She for UN Women. It's all about gender equality and how do you help make women more equal in the world. Most recently, I also started to work with Women's Forum, which is about creating gender parity in the boardroom of Fortune 500 companies. Being a former Barnard girl, women issues are very important to me, so it's been something that's very important, and I've been getting great support from the leadership of Ogilvy PR to make that a big priority for all of our work. I think for any campaign, you have to make sure that there's agreement on the objectives. agreement on even what you're working towards, what you want the outcome to be. You're always going to have different points of view, but you need to also make sure you're talking the same language. You need to educate to make sure that both your clients and your peers are in agreement with what we're all working towards, because that can breed to miscommunication and confusion and ultimately makes the process much more complicated. I would say that the most successful programs that I've ever run had very clear objectives, very clear plans, very clear outcomes we were working towards, and the team was all focused on one goal, bringing different people together from different disciplines. The power of a company like Ogilvy, you can bring advertising and PR and social and content all together to a table. It just serves the clients better, it makes us do great work, and it helps us to really create great campaigns that we're really going to be the most proud of. Some of the biggest issues facing women today can really be defined by he for she UN Women. Their mission is about gender equality in jobs and opportunity, in education, in health and wellness, and in personal security. People can participate. They can observe, they can see what's happening, they can hopefully participate and be inspired. I think that programs like UN Women and others like the Gina Davis Foundation, they're all about being inclusive, and all you have to do is seek out and know what are the biggest issues and really find ways to participate, because all these organizations want you to. It's not just about a celebrity, but they want real people to participate to make a difference. I think the biggest thing to really think about is how do you network yourself. That's how you actually become part of a consideration group for boards. I can tell you that from one of our clients, Women's Forum, at the current rate, based on the fact that only 20% of women, 20% of corporate boards today, the S&P 500, women are on. I think that there's huge room to go. We're looking at gender parity at this point by 2090, which is pretty scary. So women should really be thinking about, no matter what stage they are in their career, they need to be networked and they need to put themselves out there to be asked to be on boards. It might not be the biggest or best board to start, but it's a starting point, and work towards something to actually make a difference. And from one board can lead to another, and women just need to think about the fact that they are capable, they are in the consideration set, and it's not beyond their, it's never too early to start, and it's not beyond them to actually do it now. The biggest recommendation or the biggest advice that I would give somebody for their job or their career today is to know that it's a marathon. It is not a race. I've seen millennials today quit jobs after 6 to 9 months because they want opportunity. They think there's opportunities of grandeur and more pay at the next job. But you really have to be in a job for a year or two to really get the skills you need for that next job. So really think that it's a marathon and not a race. And the other part is you really need a sponsor, not just a mentor, but someone who's going to advocate on your behalf when you're not in the room. So having a sponsor is an essential part to any career. And I would say that that's been one of the key reasons that I've been successful, is that I've always had people advocating for me. It's not just always about the good work that you do. It's about the people that are around you that appreciate it, understand it, and value you as part of any organization.